Oh shit. Diva Dragons.
revealing that
Ah shit, Effect Valor Turbo.
Kid and Raikou could potentially be playing Mermail.
No, they're running Tengu Birdman Diva.
Wait, what?
Which is now considerably harder to play than it used to be.
I don't even know what you said. That
Yeah,
blind
you want a
MST.
blind space against this sort of deck. It's a great idea.
Why did you not chain MST and hit your own card? Battle of the very small tuners.
200, 400 versus 400, 200.
Shit's getting intense.
This match is fantastic.
Look at all the fast-paced action.
High stakes, high drama.
Blind MST.
My MST was not activated on the end phase. I have no idea.
Okay then.
Galio going out with style by reborning the Valor because it doesn't matter. So, the player in the blue, because I'm too lazy to learn how to pronounce your name, is playing
Raikou.
He discards the marksman, meaning he...
Should I golf voice?
to target the
Do you want me to
back row.
golf voice?
Do it.
Please do, because I feel like Billy Mays, and this is getting fun.
Alright, if I'm gonna golf voice, all y'all has to shut up.
And a hush fell over the crowd.
Alright, so it seems Kid Raikou is going to be playing, oh no, it seems Galileo actually doesn't understand how the marksman safe zone ruling works. Considering safe zone is no longer face up on the field, it will not be destroyed by marksman, which means it will just simply resolve and be safe zoned onto Abyss Pike. And I seem to have dropped a dice.
God damn it.
The dice has been successfully located just as Kid Raikou resolves an attack over the Plate Spreader zombie.
No thank you, Galio. No thank you.
And Galio doesn't seem to have a whole lot of options at the moment, as they merely set a card. And it seems like they are summoning an Abyss Megalo, who will then search out an an Abyss card from their deck, and they go for Abyss Skill Mizuzuchi, which will negate the effect of a spell card, rather than the spell card's activation itself, which means Abyss Mizuchi is actually one of the very few cards which is able to successfully stop a Super
Dragon
Polarization.
Ravine.
Also XYZ Encore.
Also XYZ Encore.
Remember, it is a surprisingly underplayed card.
Interestingly enough, they decide to attack with their pike rather than tributing the pike and dealing 6,400 damage directly via 2 attacks.
Now, now. Now, now. We mustn't limit these gentlemen.
How do you know it's a gentleman? As our player in the blue has Bakura as a booster.
Oh, that's true, actually. You know what? That could be true.
Not only
So
have they, it seems that they decided now to do it when
Our player in the blue
generally
made
would have
a
been a better
mistake.
idea not to activate the effect of Megalo at the moment, simply for this exact reason, where they ran into a Raikou, which then destroyed their Megalo. If they had not, then at least they would have been able to put some more damage on the board by
The better
attacking
play
with
in
Pike.
this scenario.
What did we agree, Andrew?
I'm sorry, I am a intolerant douchebag who loves to speak. However, the better play in this situation would have been to go for Gaia Dragon, as it would have caused game to happen, and he could still keep that sexy pike.
Well, he didn't know what was in defense position, so I don't know if I say that would be the optimal play. On the other hand, Big Eye would have probably been a pretty good option. If he'd equipped Mizuzuchi to Pike instead of to Megalo, then there would have been it would have basically been a lose-lose situation as to which one you want to destroy, which means when you overlaid into Big Eye, he would have still had game.
Don't worry, Kaiden Raiko. We hate you too.
We actually don't hate anyone here.
I do.
This is true. I just like to annoy people. I just got a text from my friend who's watching, calling me an intolerant douchebag.
Sounds pretty accurate.
And Galio is continuing to stall by top decking. They decided to set a monster in this scenario. And it seems Kidnaraken is reaching into the graveyard, presumably to continue activating Tidal's effect to summon himself. Or potentially not. He may just summon... Oh, nope, there's one banish. And he goes for the Aqua Spirit play. And of course, Aqua Spirit's little-known effect is during the opponent's standby phase, they can change a battle position of a face-up monster. Generally speaking, Aqua Spirit is simply used to be a free summon level 4 water monster in order to get into Bahamut. Bahamut Shark, that is, not Evil Swarm Bahamut. Bahamut Shark's effect then bringing out Abyss Trite, who otherwise would be very difficult to summon.
We have a question from the
And
chat.
we have a Dark Arm Dragon play on the field, which is then responded to with a Torrential Tribute, which technically this Torrential Tribute went -1. And Kid Narako decides to discard a Goblin Zombie in order to bring back a Shooting Doji. And understandably, they will be using the Shooting Doji's effect to draw an additional card.
Will you get angry if we fall asleep on you, John?
Not really.
So I've just been informed that Cosmo is going to do his Ocarina of Time speedrun again.
Don't say how that's relevant.
I'm sorry, my friend and I don't know. The guy has the world record for Ocarina of Time speedrun, and I just was like, oh. So he's doing it again? He's trying to beat his record? Probably, I don't know.
And this continues to not be relevant.
He plays Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know. It makes it relevant, right?
He
No.
plays Dragon Rulers, so still not relevant.
Ooh. Well, what if he played Dark Worlds? We'd have to kill him.
Then he would no longer be alive. However,
It's
he
funny
might
how, like,
rise from
literally,
the
it doesn't matter if you play D-Rulers, but if you play Dark Worlds, you're literally Fourth Reich.
dead. However, he could rise from the dead, just like Rafa.
Card doesn't fucking go away.
He's a brick.
And they decide to go for the Shooting Doji rather than the Zombie Master. This does put a little bit more damage on board. It prevents them from directly drawing an additional card. However, it does not remove the option of them summoning a Shooting Doji or another card back from the grave on their own. And they do in fact discard a Raikou in order to summon another monster. And they do summon a Goblin Zombie, which they will then overlay with, into a Monster Key Beam.
So could we potentially see a set safe zone?
It's entirely possible, but they might also be intending the safe zone simply to be a stall tactic. And we see an Abyss Oshia, which has been destroyed now. So the play involving Teus and Oshia is no longer usable.
So the set card is not safe zone, but rather Call of the Haunted. So I have just received a picture of
The
Dustin
draw
Dragon.
only resolves for every card that's been destroyed.
I have just been sent a picture of Dustin Dragon Rulers, Dustin Dragonities.
So you would want to
I don't know
theoretically
what-
target Kuraz and Call of the Haunted in this scenario, because if you target Key Beetle's just going to send Call of the Haunted to the grave anyway. Key Beetle's going to send Call of the Haunted to the grave anyway. Key Beetle's going to send Call of the Haunted to the grave anyway. Key Beetle's sending Call of the Haunted to the grave anyway. Key Beetle will send Call of the Haunted to the grave anyway. Key
We're
Beetle's
going to
going to
keep
send
repeating
Call of the
this
Haunted to
until
the grave anyway.
We finally see Call of the Haunted sent to the grave by Key Beetle.
And it seems they are attempting to put a lot of damage on board of them. It's possible they will use Shootin' Doji's effect to summon a monster.
At
Not
this
sorry,
point,
not
if
summon a
we do
monster,
have
add a monster from their banish to the top of their deck. Or alternatively, they might draw a card instead.
At this point, if our player in the red has a blue-blooded Oni in his deck, we could potentially see a loop happen. That is completely unnecessary and irrelevant.
Although it is noteworthy that if Kid Raikou does not have an answer to these attacks, for example Tragodia or Gores or even Swift Scarecrow, then this is game for them, I believe.
Twitch, quit being stupid.
And as a note, Scarnova and Enemy Drag have pussied out.
Oh, they both went? They didn't even say goodnight to the stream?
Nope.
What jerk faces?
What assholes?
What ass
Should-
jerks.
Write them angry messages.
They jerk all of the asses.
Yes.